Rain!
What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm J and we are locked in. This is the recap for episode 2 of Beauty in Black on Netflix. And the last thing we seen was our girl Kimmie coming back to the room after setting up Roy by calling his wife, who had her distracted and hit somebody. Yeah, there's a body out on that private road. Only to get back to that motel BBL and find out that rain isn't raining. She's a puddle and she's not moving on that bed. But before we jump into this and break down episode 2, if you like Beauty in Black, if you like the direction that this film is going in, then maybe this is the series for you. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button, and we're on that road to 100,000 subscribers. So I appreciate all of you. But enough talking, let's jump into it. This is the recap of Beauty in the Black, A Dance with Daddy, episode 2. We see Roy headed home also. Now this private road is to the back side of the house. That's because they own a lot of land, so the whole family, they stay out here and they have multiple houses. Well, he's driving home in the rain, texting. You're thinking nothing's gonna be on this private road, and boom, 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 what happens? He hits that same body that Mallory hit. The only thing is he actually gets out and sees who it is and puts it in the back of his vehicle. When Roy gets into the house, as soon as he steps in, Mallory's going off. Who was that girl? Who was that woman you was with? Because the phone call was made and she heard him and Kimmie getting it in. Now he's like, nah, don't try to change this, because he got a body in the back of his trunk. So these two, they're going at it. She's mad at him because of the phone call. He's mad at her because she hit a body and left it there to try to, he thinks, set him up. So they're both going at it. He's like, you know what? Your crazy ass, come with me. I got to show you something. Kimmie gets in here and she's looking around. She's like, what the hell? I need to call the ambulance. I don't know what's wrong with my friend. But out of nowhere, Rain wakes up and she's like, no, no ambulance. Don't call the police. Because these are illegal motel BBLs that she was receiving. And she's throwing up. Kimmie's like, man, what the hell? If we're not going to call an ambulance, we got to at least get you to a hospital. Because her butt, oh man, it's tore up. You can see the injections and everything. The foam cans are on the ground. This is terrible, very terrible and dangerous. So she ends up calling a taxi. We get another flashback of Kimmie and Rain in the store. Now they're walking around and she's basically telling her, this is how I'm living. We can chill in here for a little bit. But she goes and finds a computer that's online, and they end up contacting this guy by the name of Angel. This is the dude that was dancing in episode 1 that the old man was looking at. Now he's saying, I got a way for y'all to make some money. Initially he said $5,000 for Rain, but he says if both of y'all go, y'all can both make $5,000 a piece, and it's just a domestic flight. They don't really check domestic flights like they do international flights. That's coming from someone that doesn't travel a lot. Let me tell you, they crack down on domestic flights just as much as they do international. Kimmie ends up getting a phone call from Body. Body's like, where the hell are you at? She's like, what the hell? I need to be taking Rain to the hospital. She said, don't take her to no hospital. You need to get here to the club. You need to come and make this money. Because remember, they kicked her out and she went with Jules to go back to Roy's house. Body, her number one priority is keeping the HOEs in line and making that MONEY. Roy and Mallory go out to the car and he shows her exactly what he's talking about. Oh, you don't know what this is? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, nah, you hit this body and you left it there to try to set me up. She's like, nah, I didn't. He said, you know what? I'm gonna call Jules and we're gonna get this situated. She's like, nah, we can't call Jules. We can't trust anybody with this. So if we're gonna get rid of this body, you and I need to do this together. Now, of course, I'm like him. I'm like, man, I don't want anything to do with this. But she's adamant because she's the one that actually did this and is responsible for whoever she hit. The motel BBL lady shows back up with Body and that weirdo. And what they're doing is wiping down their fingerprints because they know they're doing some shady work here. I told you they went to Home Depot and got this little foam sealant stuff. So they trying to clean up everything and get up out of here talking about, no, she's all right. Some people just recover a little slower. Let's go, Body. So now they done left her here. Rain is on the bed. Help me. And Kimmie's in here by herself, clueless. They decide to take the body from Chicago out to Indiana somewhere. But remember, Roy has been drinking. He's been on drugs all night. They were speeding. Mallory kept telling them to slow down. They end up getting pulled over by the Indiana State Patrol. They got a body in the back. So when they get here, the police officer, I need you to step out of the car. Mallory saying, is there a problem? I was drinking, he wasn't drinking. But the police officer ain't going for it. Now, they do have a connection because Jules has a lot of connections as far as like the FBI goes in local PD. So they take Roy out and arrest him for drinking and driving. Mallory called Jules and he basically told them to stall. But while she's sitting in the car, she looks in the rear view and what does she see? Whoever's in the trunk, they aren't dead. They lift their hand up and they try to get out of the trunk. So she goes out and closes it. And the guy was like, hey, you've been drinking, haven't you? She's like, yeah. Well, you need to find someone to drive this car. We're going to tow it. So she's trying to wait for Jules to stall, but the police officer, he ain't having it. He told her she can either sit in the car or she could wait here. But she has to wait outside so whoever's in this trunk won't get out. But it's not looking good right now. Kimmie ended up getting a taxi. They put Rain in the back. The taxi driver's like, oh, come on, man. Don't mess up my whip like this. But they drive her to the hospital, and I can only assume that they don't have any insurance. So when they get to the ER, they pop up, they get a gurney, and they put her on there. They take her on in the back. Now, her backside is out because, I mean, it's fully exposed because that's where she got the shots from. So everyone's looking at Kimmie like, what did y'all just get into? Why is she on that gurney like that? Kimmie gets another flashback. Remember they were supposed to make $5,000 apiece with Angel? Well, we see them getting on the plane. They're happy as hell. Ha ha, we made it, baby, $5,000. Woo! But while they sitting here, nah, whoop, whoop, that's the sound of the police. The police come on here and get all three of them up and off of this plane. Damn, game over. Quick money, fast money, it's not good money. Jules ended up making a few phone calls and Roy is actually about to get out of jail. They also about to get the car out of the tow yard. Now, he's sitting here and he's asking Mallory, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you let me handle this situation since there's a package back there? But she doesn't want Jules to know all of their information because Jules works for the family. That means Roy's father, the uncle, everyone, because he's in charge of security. So they tried to handle it on their own. So what happens is they show up. He got a crew full of people that are going to get the vehicle back and get rid of that package. So everything should be good to go. Instead of just knocking out the guy working at the tow yard, they come up here and pow, one in the head, pow, one in the chest, and they go and steal the vehicle. They could have just easily knocked this guy out, got the car, and got the hell up out of here. But they went above and beyond and took him out. So that's just two more bodies on top of the body that's in the back of the vehicle that they're supposed to be disposing of. Jules gets a call from Body because Kimmie done dropped Rain off at the hospital. Now she's all on camera. And we know how Jules gets to talking. He goes and picks up Kimmie from the hospital and he's going off. What the hell were you doing there? You don't know nothing that you're doing. Remember why you work for me. You work for me because of the trouble I got you out of. You could have been doing a lot of jail time. So the reason none of them got arrested off of the plane is because of Jules and his connections. So he's telling her, you need to go back to that motel and you need to clean up that motel BBL. And she's like, okay, I will. She's saying whatever it'll take for him to get off her ass. If you haven't noticed by now, the relationship between Roy and Mallory, yeah, it isn't the best. I don't even know why they're together, but we find out in this scene. He's like, man, you're a piece of work. She's talking about, get your lazy butt up, put on a suit and get to work. Because she's actually running the organization. He just inherited it. And since they're married, that's how they're making this thing happen. But he's like, you're a cold piece of work. You really killed that person last night and didn't think anything about it. Her response is, I'm not going to let a dead bee give me wrinkles. And he's like, I should divorce you. But he can't divorce her because the dad doesn't like him, according to Mallory. And they splitting their shares. Kimmie's in the motel, still looking around. The smell of the motel BBL is lingering in the air. She decides to call the hospital since she was threatened last night by Jules that she can't show up there anymore. She tries to call, hey, I'm checking on Rain Lattimore. They're like, this is HIPAA. We can't release that information. We can't tell you if she's good or bad, but you can come down in person. So right now she's just stuck. There's no answers and she's trying to figure out what's next. What is there for her to do? They all meet up at the office and Jules is giving them an update. We know Mallory doesn't trust them, and that's why they went and drove off with the body on their own. But Jules says when they got the vehicle from the tow yard, there was no body back there. It was an empty car. So they're like, go find out who it is and find out where that body is. Mallory is talking bad to Roy, talking about you need to get off them drugs and get focused. I don't trust Jules, so you need to watch him and make sure he isn't doing anything behind our back. Now everyone can see into the office because it's glass, so they have to play it off like they aren't arguing with each other and give each other kisses. But you know how Roy feels. Roy wants to leave her. After the rain situation, Body is in here throwing her weight around. What are you doing? What was you doing last night? Why aren't you answering the phone? You need to make some money. You owe a lot of money. Then some random strippers talking about, yeah, how is Rain? She's like, don't even talk about Rain because Rain is in the hospital. But Body, she's trying to downplay it because she'll get other girls to come and get them a motel BBL. Now, Delinda, she's talking about, you better get these HOEs in line because if you don't, girl, you lucky I ain't lost a couple of pounds because I'd get on your ass. Old Delinda, oh, I'm pretty sure she wasn't playing around. I'm talking about dragging people by the hair. But right now, the ladies are trying to keep all of the other strippers in line. Kimmie gets called back to the VIP by this old man. We still don't know this gentleman's name at this point. But we do know last time he was looking at Angel, the light-skinned brother. So now she's in here and he's like, I called you back. I can't really trust anybody. I never met an honest HOE, but from you and I talking, tell that guy I can give him $800. Now, this is new to Kimmie. She ain't never been no pimp. But she's like, all right, cool. Well, I can probably get him to do it for $500. And she gives him back $300. So at least she's, I guess, honorable. So he tells Kimmie after she gives the money back, I'll be outside in the green truck. Let me know if you can negotiate these prices. So Kimmie's like, okay, let me go and talk to him. But this old man, I don't know if he really is he or not, or this is something new to him, but he's offering money. And I guess Kimmie, she got to get them dollars because we know she owes the club a lot of money. When Kimmie gets in the back to talk to Angel, she's telling him, look, I got $500. You need to go do something strange for a little piece of change. Now, Angel's talking about, man, I don't do that, man. I'm straight. But it seems like all these guys in here, I guess for a couple of dollars, they'll do whatever the hell you want. But he's like, listen, I ain't doing nothing else besides dancing. She's like, well, you broke. You need this $500. So he's like, all right, I'll do it, but don't tell nobody. And I'm like, man, what the hell is going on here? This is how the strip club is. I told you when I first came in this strip club, I turned around. I knew I was in the wrong place. I only go to strip clubs where the girls are dancing. As Kimmie and the old gentleman drive off in the green truck, Angel was supposed to meet them there. But these two, this is their second encounter. So they're having a little conversation and he's basically asking what's wrong with her and why is she doing this? And she's like, I'm just doing it for the money. I'm helping out. Even though she's not getting any money off of this, she's just helping Angel out. Even though Angel's the reason she's in this situation for that $5,000 that she never got because they almost got locked up. Once they get back to the motel, it got that motel BBL smell still in here. Well, it turns out the old man, it looks like he's sick or something because he starts coughing. So this whole plan for the $500, it doesn't go according to plan. So they end up cutting this thing short and there's no dancing or anything going on, thank the Lord, because this old man needs to get home. He's coughing up a damn lung. But since he can't drive, he tells Kimmie, I need you to drive me home. Because he asked, was she going to rob him? She said no, but the other strippers would. As she drives him home, they come up to a gate and there's security, and security comes over like, oh, hey, sir, how you doing? Come on in. So she's looking around at this magnificent house like, what the heck? Where am I? Who is this guy? She walks him over to the couch and we know he's been coughing up a storm. He sits down and he's like, can you get my medicine off of my desk in my office? So she gets up and heads down there to get the medicine. After she gets the medicine, she starts walking back down the hallway. She looks and notices some familiar faces on the pictures. Well, it turns out this man has a photo with Roy, the guy's room she's been over, and a photo with Mallory, who was hosting the scholarship. And she's like, wait. This mansion, and how is he in a photo with both of these people? All right, there you go. Episode 2, the recap, A Dance with Daddy. But what were you thinking when she got to this house? Were you putting 2 and 2 together? This rich old man that saying he lives on a fixed income really isn't on a fixed income, really rich, is in a photo with the same guy that she's been messing with, and she's also been trying to get a scholarship from. I'm like, oh Lord, this is a big family affair. Let me know what you think though. What would you do in that situation? Are you trying to get as much money as you can? Or are you like, I'm going home? Let me know what you think. That's episode 2 recap, Beauty in Black. Tune in for episode 3 tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I'm ModeIJ. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.